as a way of showing their strength, were likely to have military ceremonies. In the American Army, reviews were originally outlined in Baron Friedrich von Steuben's Blue Book and practiced by Revolutionary cadets. A review consisted of 4 stages: a formation of troops, presentation and honors, inspection, and a march and review. Today's reviews have incorporated 3 additional stages: honors to the nation, remarks, and a conclusion. The presence of the band or military music represents the significant role that the drum, fife, and other musical instruments have played throughout the military history for signaling in camp or on the battlefield. The presence of the colors at the center of this formation represents their presence at the forefront of the unit during the heat of battle. Passing the reviewing stand is the commander of troops, Major Samuel Warren, and the battalion staff. The 282nd Army Band is commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 3 Kevin Pick. The drum major is Staff Sergeant Robert King. Alpha Company is commanded by Captain Peter O'Neill. The 1st Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Louis Skipper and trained by Drill Sergeant Cassandra Soto. The 2nd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Evan Doherty and trained by Drill Sergeant Ryan LaBeouf. The 3rd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Matthew Cups and trained by Drill Sergeant Clemente Bowers. The 4th Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant John Hall and trained by Drill Sergeant Heather McKay. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, 1st Sergeant Shane Hill. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. Bravo Company is commanded by Captain Lonnie McIntyre. The 1st Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Marcus Valencia and trained by Drill Sergeant Zach Murray. The 2nd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Oscar Salazar and trained by Drill Sergeant Briar Roseboom. The 3rd Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Eric Laval and trained by Drill Sergeant Dominic Wells. The 4th Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Wolf Din and trained by Drill Sergeant Miguel Lozano. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, 1st Sergeant Alexandria King. Ladies and gentlemen, you are reminded that as you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. The Battalion Color Guard is led by Drill Sergeant Alex English. Charlie Company is commanded by Captain Jackson Armstrong. The 1st Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Wallace Robinson and trained by Drill Sergeant Jacob Wood. The 2nd Platoon is led by 1st Lieutenant Cody P. Hahn and trained by Senior Drill Sergeant Matthew Lassiter. platoon is led by First Lieutenant Russell Norton and trained by Senior Drill Sergeant Caleb Buck. The 4th platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Kenneth Spates and trained by Drill Sergeant Brandon Barrage. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, First Sergeant Geraldine Rodriguez. Delta Company is commanded by Captain Rebecca Cadet. The 1st platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant John Canal and trained by Senior Drill Sergeant Scott Stamen. The 2nd platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Thomas Edison and trained by Drill Sergeant Brian Ferguson. The 3rd platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant William Kerwin and trained by Senior Drill Sergeant Sarah Madrid. The 4th platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Tarek Thomas and trained by Drill Sergeant Casey Lubinecki. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, First Sergeant Brandon Bishop. Echo Company is commanded by First Lieutenant Rene DeMorse. The 1st platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Jeffrey Fisher and trained by Drill Sergeant LaQuante Reed. The 2nd platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Trevor Ellison and trained by Drill Sergeant Jarmy Bermudez. The 3rd platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Nathaniel Wilkinson and trained by Drill Sergeant Mark Biernes. The 4th platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Peter Hennings and trained by Drill Sergeant Ricardo Acevedo. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, Sergeant First Class Gregory Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Army song and please remain in the bleachers until the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please enjoy the rest of your day and have a safe journey home. Victory starts here.